Hello there and welcome to my channel Novice Modelling in the Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy and today, as you can see, we've got Panzer Colours 3 in front of us, which is part of a three-part little series that I've done, which has been basically reviewing Panzer Colours 1, Panzer Colours 2, and we're now on to the third edition. And if you haven't seen any of the previous reviews, I'll put a link in the description bar, which is kind of at the bottom somewhere. So please do feel free to have a look at those. I'm not really going to do an awful lot of talking here. Basically all I'm going to do is flip the pages so you can have a look at the colour plates. And I suppose if you wanted to, you can put it on pause on your fancy TVs and you can probably catch the words as well. As you can see, this one came from Arms and Armour Press and was £8.95. And we've got a nice little inscription here: to Bobby, happy birthday 1987, Mom Kiss, which is kind of nice. It did make me kind of wonder what Bobby's doing these days and whether he's still building kits or whether he's kind of like waiting to start up again. And if you're watching Bobby and you recognise this, oh yeah. So here we go. Panzer Colours 3. As we know, this is by Bruce Culver. And it was originally printed 1984 by Squadron Signal Publications in the United States. All the pictures are black and white, obviously. We have to sort of take some of the information here with a bit of a pinch of salt, I suppose, because obviously this is 40 years old and information does get updated. I'm sure a lot of this information is actually available online, but it's kind of nice occasionally just to flick through the old-fashioned way of doing these things and have a look at a book. So here we go, we've got an introduction here, quite long, and then we're going to move on to Panzer Grenadier divisions. And we've got a couple of pictures going on there. Next up, we've got some more black and white photos. We've got an abandoned Panzer 4 there, and we've got some guys doing some field camouflage in a field, and a sort of recon troop. A horse being used to pull out a, I'm not quite sure whether that's a horse being pulled out, but a horse pulling a horse. I'm going to move on to Waffen SS and some of their interesting unit markings that they have. And we've got sort of a medical or ambulance truck. Got some armoured cars. Again, a lot of these feature these interesting markings, so that's kind of what a lot of these photographs are sort of intended to depict, just so we can see exactly where they go and how they were used. And we've got a pretty girl waving off her beloved. And the emergence of the Panther. Some muddy fields, probably of Russia somewhere. This is the SS Division Reich, later renamed Das Reich. More bogged down in the kind of looks like dry mud. Got a SS number plate with the Totenkopf symbol on it. It's kind of raining here in Mold, so apologise if the tapping you can hear. And here we've got a captured French tank. Can't name it off the top of my head. Let's see if it says in here. Oh, Char B. There we go. This French Char B heavy tank carries the division sign in yellow ochre on a base of dark grey. The turret number is white NARS. And this is SS Freiwilligen Gebirgs Division Prinz Eugen, operating in Yugoslavia. Kind of interesting. And it gives quite good information with the actual pictures. A lot of the times when you see these online, it's kind of like a picture that says Panzer 4, and that's kind of it. So we have SS unit markings at Kursk. Rather famous tank battle. We can see we've got a nasty naughty symbol on the front of this armoured car. There's a bit of a Schwimmwagen there with the propeller exposed. There's a French Panhard 178 armoured car assigned to the Das Reich division. Obviously captured in France or somewhere. And we have the Gross Deutschland division and some of their unit markings. There's a Schwimmwagen with an officer in it. Panzer V Panther with the crew chilling. And here we have Sturmgeschütz units, so these are the self-propelled guns, generally. And you see we've got a load of nice pictures of the early Stug 3. Short barrel, I think that one's a long barrel. And moving on to some of the colour plates now. And we've got Panzer Grenadier division markings, so they're all the various Panzer Grenadier divisions, or some of them. And we have a captured Bren gun carrier. Again, close up of division markings, etc. Some tracks being replaced in the field. It's quite a good picture there. And we have Waffen SS Panzer Division markings. So we've got Lebensstraße SS Adolf Hitler, Das Reich, Totenkopf, Polizei, Viking, Prinzjeugen, Hohenstaufen, Frundsberg, Nordland, Hitlerjugend, Reichsführer SS, Gotts von Berlichten, Horst Wessel, Niederland and Wallonien. And we have a load of colour plates here as well. Again, there's the Prinzjeugen Yugoslavia 1942 plate that we saw earlier. It's a pretty cool one there with a, looks like a panther on it, doesn't it? That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. There's a ship being sort of towed out of the water there. I don't know where they're going with that, by a heavy half track. Upstrand 100 metres, so I'm guessing that says keep 100 metres back maybe. Here we have SS markings at Kursk 1943. And more photographs. A lot of them showing the use of foliage for camouflage. We've got Sturmgeschütz unit markings. A whole variety of them going on there. Some pretty interesting ones and showing where they're going to be applied on the tanks themselves. So kind of interesting. This is kind of one of the most interesting ones of the series, actually, I think. Now, if you're interested in these books, you can pick them up generally in the UK for around about sort of £15 to £20. That's kind of there or thereabouts if I remember what I paid for them. Obviously, they are a bit of a blast from the past. They do actually come in a softback cover as well, which the cover is slightly different. I think they're actually the US printed ones. So we've got Großdeutschland divisions, Tiger tank battalions. Big number markings on the rear. And it looks like one of the I forget the name of them now, the repair tanks that used to go off and tow them. And they got into trouble. Incidentally, I do have a buy me a coffee account. So if you want to buy me a coffee, I think the going price is $5. I'm guessing that's US. So far I've had 2 generous people chuck me a coffee, or chuck me 4 coffees in fact. Any money raised from buy me a coffee, I can promise you I'll not be spending on coffee. I'll be spending on beer or kits. You can specify which you prefer if you like in the comment section, which is allowed. Andy, spend money on beer. Andy, spend money on kits. I'll put a link to that in the description bar as well, just in case you're feeling generous. Like we've got some tracks being changed on this Tiger. And this one's being pulled here. We can see the heavy half tracks. These are all going to be chained together. You can see just about see the chain now. 1, 2. So it takes 3 of them to haul one of these beasts. It's quite a big incline that. So that's a pretty interesting picture. That'll make a good diorama sort of thing, you'd think, with the what looks like a horse there going up the hill. I think that's where some of these photographs are actually kind of interesting, because they kind of show what's going on, as opposed to just having a close-up of, oh, here's a tank. You know, but here's what was going on with the tanks. You know, look at the mud there. Good foliage again. We've got some king tigers coming up. You can see the pockmarked state here. Where's this here? This is Budapest, during the spring of 1945. It's a hell of a looking thing, isn't it? Oh, there we go. We've got a crane here lifting the turret off this tiger. Again, that's not the sort of picture you'd see online, is it? You know, I suppose, you know, and to get that sort of thing, you'd have to go to this. So this is obviously some sort of tank repair and maintenance depot that we've got going on. And you can see all the inner workings and the guys trying to fix whatever the fault was. It's kind of an interesting part of the two sort of ways that the Germans dealt with things. Tiger tank, heavy, muscle, built, and a horse. You know, you kind of forget that a lot of their mobility, especially in the early years, was still horse-based, and a lot of their artillery was sort of horse-drawn. Tiger tank battalion markings. And then we've got a tiger in Tunisia, North Africa, 1942-43. And then we've got Northern Russia, 1943, with the quite obvious change in the sort of yellow that they were using. There was one in Italy, in Rome. Aprilia, so that's obviously Italy again. Chaos of sort of war, I suppose, just rubbish strewn everywhere. And we got a Panzer Ferdinand, Kursk, 1943. And a load of tigers and king tigers. I'm not quite sure what that one's, a Jagd tiger. Jagd tiger. Don't think I've seen a kit for one of those. That's a hell of a big gun. And we've got more photographs. We've got a muzzle cover on here to stop dust going in. And again on the, well, that's a Ferdinand, not the elephant. There's a whole load of camouflage going on with this in the sort of town square. Not quite sure whether that helps. You can actually see a Sherman of some type in the background there, and a Jeep. What's going on here? So this photograph shows the remaining Jagd Tigers, right, of the 512 battalion, surrendered to American forces in the Ruhr 1945 April. The colour scheme is dark overall yellow. These vehicles carry extensive extra, so they've actually been surrendered to the Americans. Interesting photograph. And we have Waffen SS Tiger tank unit markings. Again, it's mainly focused on the unit markings and where they go and what they are. And we've got a load of score markings on the barrel here. And we've got same again, Waffen SS Tiger markings at Kursk. Broken track, Gross Deutschland, again, track replacements, I suppose. And he's on a train getting transported somewhere else. Oof, and here we go, there's a load of markings here. We've got Hermann Goering unit markings, Fallschirm Panzer Corps Hermann Goering markings. No idea what all that means. Kind of interesting. SS Tiger units, and then we've got Tigers, flying the flag, cleaning your gun barrel. Hermann Goering vehicle markings. Destruction of war, obviously. More tigers, lots and lots of pictures of tigers. Good book. It kind of looks like knocked out, doesn't it? Front of a Schwingwagen. More tigers. Oh, that's a good one. Lots of pictures of tigers here. And Hermann Goering Panzer Corps. A variety of non-armoured and lightly armoured vehicles. Commanderwagen, bunch of armoured cars. Oh, 633. I think I've got one of those. Kind of hard to get hold of as in a model kit. Overturned truck. And that's the end. So, not quite sure what the date is, but happy birthday, Bobby. If that's you, do get in contact. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, yay, please feel free, there'll be a link. If you want to have a look at the other two fascinating editions of Panzer Colours by Bruce Culver, there'll be a link in the description bar at the bottom. So thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Please do check out some of the other interesting kit reviews and some of my rather shabby attempts at building models. Obviously I've only been doing this for 6 months or 7 months now, so I'm kind of learning, trying to get there. We're going to be starting our big project at the end of September, early October, because I'm off for 12 days, and hopefully that's going to keep us going for a while, something like 8 years I reckon. So I'll be around here for a while, and there's a few more haul unboxings to come up. And please don't think I'm showing off, or, you know, look at all the money I'm spending. I ain't rich, you know, I just work a regular job. I just work a lot of overtime to pay for this rather fascinating hobby that I've discovered or rediscovered. So thanks again for watching. Be seeing you.